UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. Welcome to another episode of UFO Update. I think you'll find this picture very interesting. It is reminiscent of Ellen Crystal's photographs that she conducted in upstate New York. I think back in the 90s, it's a long time ago. We'll get into that and so much more, but first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Hey folks, L.A. Marzulli here. Groceries, rent, and gas aren't the only bills rising to unaffordable levels. Air conditioning bills are reaching record highs. As summer approaches with scorching temperatures from heat waves, a shocking 20 million households are behind on their power bills. Folks, make yourself happy and cool, as I am this summer, by visiting www.easysummercool.com. That's once again, www.easysummercool.com, or simply click the link in the description for 60% off today with a 60-day risk-free guaranteed and fast USA shipping. Check it out, folks. Once again, easysummercool.com. So these photos are very interesting. What we see is a light in the sky, and then all of a sudden we see a right angle turn. So aircraft do not make right angle turns. Weather balloons do not make right angle turns. Really, nothing that we know that's up there makes a right angle turn. However, I have seen this before, as I mentioned. Ellen Crystal, the author, I used to have her book in my library. It was underlined, noted, highlighted, dog-eared, the whole deal, because that's what I do with these books. I mark them up. So for future reference, I can go back, turn to the last page where I have my notes, and I can access the information if I want to do so. But that burned in the fire, but I digress. So here's the deal. This is very common. And the reason for this is conjecture. But when they come into our airspace, when they come into this dimension, they are moving from one dimension into our dimension. Now that's conjecture. I understand that. But that's based on decades of research. And this is why we get these very strange anomalous lights that are in the sky. So, folks, it's a short little UFO update. If you've got film, if you have a sighting, you want to come on the record, please feel free to email me, la@lamarzulli.net, la@lamarzulli.net. It's right there below. And if you're willing to come on a Zoom, especially, and talk about your encounter. The bottom line is this: UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. The phenomenon is now being talked about in Congress. It's pretty much of a nothing burger. The powers that be, the so-called deep state, the military-industrial complex, have kept this information down literally for decades, which is why Philip Corso's book is absolutely so interesting, in my opinion, because Corso allegedly, and I realize he has a lot of detractors, but I believe him. It's a deathbed confession. He died, I think, a year after the book was published. Now I'm not sure the exact dates, but it wasn't like this guy made millions of dollars off this book, okay? But it was groundbreaking in the sense that Corso came forward and talked about disseminating the wreckage from the Roswell crash, by the way, and giving it to the private sector to basically go in and try to figure out, back engineer it, essentially. So if you've not read that book, we don't carry it in our store. Philip Corso, you're going to want to check that out. Again, folks, it's pretty amazing stuff. I will be at the Prophecy Watchers Conference talking about some of this stuff right here, June 27th to the 30th. Hope to see you there. I'm speaking twice on Saturday, once in the afternoon, and then, of course, I think I close out at 8:15, but I could be wrong. There might be someone coming up after me. So whatever. I'll have 45 minutes. And here's the deal. Both of these films, the Roswell exoneration and in the debris field, they're available for $4.99 through our streaming site, streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. If you want to buy the DVDs, lamarzulli.com, you can go there and buy the DVDs. But here's the deal: for $4.99, you guys can download, the films. What are you waiting for? It's time for people to you. It's time for you to start doing your homework, as the late Chuck Missler would say. We've created 10 films. 9 and 10 are out this week. So there are 10 films in our series. We've covered everything from Close Encounters of the First, Second, Third Kind, finally the abduction phenomena, crop circles, cattle mutilations. We went to the debris field. We found 2 pieces of metal. We interviewed the family of Jesse Marcel Jr., and we have a clip from Marcel Sr. in the debris field. 9 and 10, Nick Pope, Nick Redford, Gary Stearman, Mondo Gonzalez, George Norrie, Gonzo, as we showed you last week. Lots and lots of people come on the record for 9 and 10. What is the truth? And of course, at the end of the films, I weigh in and talk about what I believe is the coming great deception. We go up, they show up. We go up, they come down. Or you can reverse it. We go up, they come down. We go up, they show up. That's what I believe is the coming great deception. There is a physicality to the UFO phenomena. I realize that other people, other researchers do not believe that. That's why we went to the debris field, because in the debris field, we found 2 pieces of metal. We had the metal tested, and that's all I'll say. $4.99, you can find out about the metal, all right? Do your homework, folks. The mugs are now available right here. This is one of them. I Digress is another one. Rebuke first, ask questions later. LAMarzulli.net. Before I go, we are auctioning these hats off. We have 2 of them. Some of these hats are 15 years old. They accompanied me. I donned them on my head, as it were, to places like Israel and Peru and all over the Americas. So right here, we're auctioning these on our website, LA at LAMarzulli.net, LA at LAMarzulli.net. Make an offer. The bidding starts at $1,000. I realize that's ridiculous. We're trying to raise money for our film shoot overseas. So if you want to contribute to that, you can just give us a donation. Tell us it's for the film shoot, and we'll put your name in the credits at the end, and thank you for it. But if you want the hat, and if you're well off enough to, cough up $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever to secure the hat for yourself, let me know. LA at LAMarzulli.net. That's it. I'm not going to talk anymore. Just remember this: UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. Thanks for watching.
Officials endeavoring to obtain all top flying saucers.
Marcel's own words, it was something that he'd never seen before. Something from another world. In our opinion, Marcel was a patsy.
Just verbal directions. We know what about it.
That his father was telling the truth.
He did in the eye, and he said, it really happened, and he held his hand up just like this. They had 6 fingers, not 5.
He said they looked quite a bit like us.
Do you think your grandfather was a patsy?
100%.
A cover-up by the U.S. military.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
I can't discuss in public setting.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots?
Biologics came to some of these recoveries.
He deliberately obfuscated and they lied to the American people.
When the Pentagon decided to lie about what happened at Roswell.
Because standing 6 feet away, this little being about 3.5 foot tall.
She said the nurses who were there during the crash, they're now at a convent.
The first book that Randall wrote, and he said to Jess, he said, that's not fiction.
But for everybody, I mean, this is a human thing. It's a worldwide changing, life-changing for everyone.
Was certainly not a weather balloon and not something from this earth.